Okay, welcome back in. Just one game to report from yesterday in the hockey world, at least. The Four Nations face-off continued Thursday night at the Bell Center in Montreal. This time we had Team Finland, and they would go up against the USA. In the first period, Henry Haru. I guarantee I did not pronounce that correctly. We get the first goal of the tournament for Team Finland, assisted by Michael Granlund and Olli Mata, 7:31 of the first period. Handled by Loserenen, off the feed from Lundell and a one-touch Olli Mata through center. Across the drive by Granlund, shots. So that would give Finland the early 1-0 lead in the first. Staying in the first, Brady Tkachuk would get his first goal for Team USA, assisted by Matt Boldy and Zach Werenski, 10 minutes and 21 seconds of the first. Matt Boldy skates onto it in the corner, centering pass, Tkachuk, check from behind, tries a big shot, so Team USA had the game tied up over halfway through the first period. In the second, Matt Boldy would give Team USA their first lead of the game, getting his first goal of the tournament from Brock Faber and Kyle Connor, 17:04 of the second period. At the right point, long shot. Team USA takes the lead. That time Faber. Matthew Tkachuk, Brady's brother, would get his first goal of the tournament just 15 seconds into the third on the power play from Zach Werenski, who had his second assist, and Jake Gensel got his first point of the tournament. And then that starts opening up the play. Zone entry. So that would give Team USA a 3-1 lead. Speaking of Jake Gensel, he would score just 11 seconds after that, getting his first goal of the tournament from Austin Matthews and Jack Hughes, 26 seconds of the third period. So Team USA had a 4-1 lead at that point, and they just kept pouring it on. Brady Tkachuk would get his second goal of the game. His obviously second goal of the tournament, assisted by Jack Eichel and his brother, Matthew Tkachuk, exactly 3 minutes into the third. And the last goal came from Matthew Tkachuk, who got his second goal of the game as well. Obviously a second of the tournament on the power play from Zach Werenski, who had 3 assists on the night, and Jack Eichel, who had 2 assists of his own. Back to Eichel. Gets a return. Werenski shoots. So that would be the last goal of the game. Team USA would win by a final score of 6-1. And I'll take a look at the standings after all 4 teams have played one game apiece. So you can see all 4 teams there on the screen for the moment. There we go. So Team USA is in first place because they won in regulation. So in this tournament, if you win in regulation, you get 3 points. If you win in overtime, you get 2 points. If you lose in regulation, obviously you have nothing. And if you lose in overtime, you're guaranteed at least 1 point. So that explains why Team USA is first. Team Canada is second. Sweden, they had the overtime loss. They did gain 1 point. They are in third place, and because Finland lost in lost in regulation, they have 0 points after 1 game. Now, because this tournament's so small, game 2 for all of these teams is going to be that much more crucial. If Team USA happens to win their second game, they're almost guaranteed as a lock for the final tournament game. And then the same thing goes for Canada. If they win their respectable game, depending on who they play, they could lock in first place. So the pressure is on for both Team Sweden and Team Finland. If Team Finland loses, doesn't matter if it's in regulation or in overtime, they're basically eliminated from the tournament. Team Sweden, they're hanging on by a thread because if they also lose one more game in regulation or in overtime, they're likely done as well, because if Sweden only gets one more point, they're going to be stuck at 2. And then obviously if Canada just gets 1 point or 2 points, they would officially eliminate Team Sweden from the final game. So again, very big for both Sweden and Finland. They both need a win respectively for both these teams to stay in the tournament. Otherwise, by their third game, they could be playing for pride more than anything. I believe the next 2 games take place on Saturday. There will be a break on Friday night. And then after Saturday's games, I'm pretty sure the next games actually take place in the USA. So there's 2 games for each team in Montreal, Quebec, and then obviously 2 games guaranteed in Boston. They're guaranteed to have all these teams play game 3 of the tournament, and then obviously the final game will be in Boston as well. So both Montreal and Boston will host 2 games apiece. So it'll be interesting to see who comes out on top Saturday evening. All right, that's going to take care of this recap for the Four Nations Face-Off. I will have my review for Saturday's games on Sunday morning, and then we'll kind of go from there and see how the rest of the tournament goes. This is kind of interesting to me because we don't really have a whole lot of these little mid-season tournaments. A lot of the time it is for the Olympics, but because the Olympics aren't until next year, they kind of wanted to give us a little teaser as to what these rosters could look like for these teams respectively. All right, that's going to take care of Thursday's recap from the Four Nations Face-Off. As always, if you're new to this channel and you like this type of content, feel free to hit the sub button. I'd be very grateful and very appreciative. Until next time, and as always, take care.